Gordon Strachan's in the deer seats because of his touchline ban for Inverness against Celtic, live on Setanta Sports with Scott Booth and Ian Crocker.
Celtic firm favourites here, but then we thought Rangers might pick off Dunfermline last week. That didn't happen. Nobody is getting it all their own way in the SPL early season. Celtic really get it all their own way here. They were a goal down in the first minute at the Caledonian Stadium last season, and Inverness Thistle looking for a similar situation this time, but Jarosik helps it on to Kenny Miller, who's caught by Grant Monro.
Yeah, it's really important that Inverness Thistle start well today. If they can start well and get as good a start as they did last time round, just allows them to hold on a little bit, because there's going to be a lot of pressure coming Inverness Thistle defence's way. It's a case of how tight can they keep it early on.
Jarosik a threat, and Kenny Miller looking to pounce, but it was Monro who cleared it. Hastings. Gary Caldwell underneath this, calmly steering it back to Artur Boruc. Well, Charlie Christie has done various jobs over the years here at Thistle. Now he is the main man, having taken over last season when Craig Brewster departed for Dundee United. Miller for Jarosik. Miller chasing, and Darren Dodds just managed to steer it away.
Yeah, it was a very good interception from Dodds, but far too easily, allowing Miller to get in there, and his pace almost proved vital again. Initially a little flick on, gets the header. Nice return pass from Jarosik, and Darren Dodds with timely tackle.
There's Black. Dargo. Stephen Pearson making a rare league start for Celtic. Did get a couple of starts at the end of last season. Wilson up towards Miller. Turned away by Grant Monro. Celtic currently 6th in the table, but such is the way early season, they could shoot to the top spot with a win today. Nakamura, McGeady, shrugging off Keogh, former Celtic youngster. Jarosik. McGeady up against Keogh again. McGeady's won the duel. Just as well for Thistle, there were no takers on the far post for Celtic.
Yeah, and Keogh will have to get used to this afternoon. I think that it's a big day for him. They will miss Barry Wilson in there. He's a real experienced player, but gives you something extra going forward. You can already see as well that Dennis Wyness is dropping off Dargo there and picking up Lennon. Doesn't want to give Lennon too much space to get things going for Celtic, so he'll have a lot of work to do this afternoon.
It's a foul by Hayden McGeady on the long-serving Ross Tokley. Tokley, who had a testimonial pre-season, making his 300th league appearance for the club today. Rankin. Caldwell decided to deal with it. Ross Wallace has to do his bit as well. Wallace again employed in that problem left-back position for Celtic. Tokley getting ready for a long one. McManus cleared it, only as far as Liam Keogh, and away by Neil Lennon. Rankin. Shunsiki Nakamura.
Well, second little chip ball from Rankin there. He's got a really good vision, a nice touch, and a great left foot. He's already trying to open up the two central Celtic defenders.
Stephen Pearson, who looks set to leave Celtic for Derby County not so long ago. Wallace looking for an option. Jarosik provides one. come through to Dargo. Now the tidy and composed Rankin. Hastings, straight down McManus's throat. McGeady, neatly spinning away from Keogh.
It's going to be interesting to see what Inverness Thistle do with Jarosik. If he is going to just sit off Miller, do they go tight with him? Do they stay off of him? I think at that, for me, I think they have to go tight. But in doing that, they do give Miller the chance to get in behind in the area left by the central defender. I think that early on it's going to be important that they do get that sorted out.
Wallace. Keogh. Dodds wary of Miller's presence, and Jarosik comes across too.
Yeah, I think you're right there in that situation there. You can see that Dodds, he's looking at Jarosik in front of him, but he's also aware that Miller can go in behind him. And as I say, that's going to be a difficult one for them to compete with this afternoon.
Keogh, Wyness and Dargo in the middle. Here's Dargo. And there was a race between Caldwell and McManus to clear it. And Celtic have a free kick.
It's a good start from Keogh. He's been involved early on. That'll do his confidence a lot of good. I know that Charlie Christie has said that he deserves his chance in the team. And so far he's been pretty involved.
Celtic let him go 4.5 years ago. Miller trying to rescue that. Here is Lennon. Rankin for Black. Dargo. Jarosik chasing that.
Yeah, it was a long, hopeful ball, but it's never too hopeful a ball when you have Kenny Miller up front for you. And sometimes it's just good to play that ball over the top, get your team pushed out, and it also gives the opposition a problem. You're now playing from a defensive situation.
McGeady. Wallace. Pearson. Here is Wallace. Aimed towards Jarosik, who was being closely watched by Richard Hastings. Mark Wilson seems to mature with every performance. Jarosik scored on the opening day against Kilmarnock. Yuri Jarosik has been largely anonymous since, but I'm sure there will be plenty to come from him throughout the course of the season. Might be something to come here from Aidan McGeady. Turning typically, finding his route blocked by Dodds. Lennon. Wilson. Miller going out wide. Wilson for Pearson.
Meaning crucial to Inverness Thistle's chances this afternoon is allowing Celtic to get wide. But when Celtic are wide, they can't afford the balls to be played too easily through into strikers for the runners of Pearson and Miller getting in behind.
10 years ago this weekend, Caley Thistle lost 3-1 at Forfar in the 3rd division in front of a crowd of 427. They've not done too bad for themselves since. A remarkably rapid rise to the top flight, where they continue to more than hold their own. This Totally has been at the club from start to finish. Pearson trying to split the defence, looking for Miller, but it's cut out by Monro.
That's what Inverness are going to have to watch this afternoon. If they give the ball away too easily, Celtic will break, and they'll break in numbers, and they have pace up front. And just on that occasion, Pearson's delivery just wasn't the best.
Wilson. Neil Lennon.
That's exactly the problem that Inverness are going to have with Dennis Wyness dropping back in there, but he's trying to cut the ball out going wide, and it means that Lennon can get on the ball far too easily. He had it over this side as well with Wallace, sitting in no man's land.
Nakamura. Lennon. First start of the season for the Celtic captain. Pearson into Miller. Darren Dodds is having none of him. An unusual error from Wilson, taking his eye off the ball. Celtic dominant early on.
I was just going to say, I think they'll be very happy with their start. They've settled right into the game. Their passing game has started already. They look like they're flowing, not quite with a cutting edge yet, but they'll be patient. Just be happy that they're on the ball and controlling things.
Here's Ian Black. He's got options, but decided to have a dig himself. Trifle ambitious, perhaps.
This is the problem that Inverness will give Celtic. Even though Celtic do have possession and are controlling the game, there's always a chance that they'll get you in the counter. They've been doing it for seasons now and quite adept at causing problems just when you think you're settled.
Charlie Christie, a former Celtic player. Never made the first team though in his 2 years at the club in the late 80s. Got his revenge in the year 2000 when he orchestrated Caley Thistle's famous cup win at Celtic Park. Stephen McManus for his partner at the back, Gary Caldwell. The two of them have played together before at youth level for Scotland, but they were both in midfield in those days. Forming a new partnership at the heart of the Celtic defence now in the absence of the injured Bobo Balde. Kenny Miller, industrious. Stephen Pearson takes over. He could slip Nakamura in. He does slip Nakamura in, but it's away by Hastings.
You couldn't really say it's an open game, but both teams playing to their strengths at the moment.
Nakamura, offside. Kenny Miller wouldn't have counted anyway, but it's collected by the keeper.
Dinkin definitely offside, just that bit too early. I think the game is settled down to the way it's going to go for most of it. With Celtic in possession, Inverness Thistle happy to have organisation, to keep it tight, to show Celtic wide.
Gordon Strachan having to sit upstairs, banned from the touchline after his altercation with John McGlynn at Hearts.
I don't think he'll enjoy that too much up there. He loves to be on the track side, close to players, feeding them with information.
He'll be on the blower to Tommy Burns, quite frequently you suspect.
What it does do though, Ian, it gives you a different view of the game. You see the spaces, sometimes a little bit easier to make tactical decisions.
Nakamura, Wilson's in acres of space on the other side. Celtic though keeping it on this side for now with Pearson. Now it might go over there. It does, and in fact Gary Caldwell gets to it first. Jarosik. Decent effort from Yuri Jarosik, forcing the save from Brown.
And that all starts on the left side for Celtic, but Mark Wilson in acres of room on the right-hand side. Doesn't quite have to go that far out. It's a nice turn, going for the near post. That's what Jarosik will give you. It has to be said, a good save in the end as well. And Brown will have to be on his toes throughout this match.
Certainly have to be here. Is Caley Thistle prepared to defend Nakamura's corner? wasn't a bad one, and although the keeper was coming for it, Ian Black was taking no chances.
Yeah, it's a fantastic ball in. Seen this a lot in the SPL this season so far. A pace ball right into the front post, hoping for a little flick on, and somebody coming in at the back.
McGeady, the latest in a series of Celtic corners. Manus and Jarosik and Pearson and Caldwell and Miller all in there waiting for this corner from Nakamura. Came back out to Wilson, who miscued. Kenny Miller on the turn.
But that type of delivery will give the defence a lot of problems. How do you attack it? If you can just get a striker going across the front post area, very difficult to defend, especially when it's of the quality that Nakamura puts in.
Celtic were held to a draw here last season. They did beat Cali Thistle twice in Glasgow, but it was 2-1 on both occasions, and Cali Thistle were ahead in one of those games as well. Lost the encounter here.
I think that's important for Cali Thistle to keep thinking about playing themselves, not just sitting too much. In the past they have had their own opportunities in the game, and they do need to create some.
Dargo nicely on to Rankin. Neil Lennon intervenes.
I think you also have to say it's job done by Inverness Cali Thistle. They haven't lost that early goal. They can sometimes see the collapse of a side, and they're experienced teams, especially at the back, so they'll know what they're doing.
It's come off Darren Dodds. Richard Hastings on the chase. Rankin. Gets it back from McBain. Direct route towards Wyness. Gary Caldwell helping it back to his keeper.
I can't help thinking already they have missed Barry Wilson and the type of runs that he makes, the speed of counter-attack, the skill, and also he's a goal threat at all times.
Wilson. Lennon. Nakamura. Jarosik wasn't ready for that. Pearson. Cali Thistle lost here on the opening day to St Mirren, who have performed admirably on winning promotion to the SPL. And then a couple of draws against Aberdeen with the last-minute equaliser, and then 0-0 with Hibs here. McGeady. Dodds stopped it reaching Miller or Nakamura. Pearson.
Mark Wilson again, absolutely free on the right-hand side. So much width in the Celtic side. I think the problem is Charlie Christie did want them to be out on the front foot, Inverness Cali Thistle, and they haven't done that as yet.
Nakamura and Wilson down that side. Miller flung himself at it. Wallace curtails Rankin.
There's just not enough support for Rankin up there. I think if it carries on like this, it just looks to me as a matter of time before Celtic do get the opener.
Wilson, who arrived from Dundee United last January and was predominantly used in that left-back role. where he usually did a superb job. He does do an even better job at right back. High into the sky from Grant Monro. He's going to chase his own ball. Dargo. Stephen McManus will fancy that. Yarosik coming back from an offside position.
It's also a strangely mute atmosphere in the stadium. I think both sets of fans eager to see a little bit more goal-mouth possession for their team. I think that the more direct route for Celtic might start to come its way, especially with the height of Jarosik in there and then the pace of Miller in behind. But as yet, Wyness and Dargo failing to get into the game.
Reminder that you can choose your man of the match later by ringing the appropriate number, and if your choice is the same as Scott Booth's and you're picked out as the winner, you will receive a signed shirt from the man of the match himself. Not too many early contenders, but here's Nakamura. Pearson has found Wilson, who has found room on that side and has the ball for a change now. Yarosik and Kenny Miller blocked by Dodds.
Yeah, that's going to be the problem for Inverness Thistle if they play so narrow. Mark Wilson will get on the ball all day, and he has pace, and he can deliver, especially from the right side.
Thistle on a surge with McBain. Dargo now for Keogh. About to have two men on him, Keogh, but he does have assistance from Tokely. And Bollops will easily gather that. Pearson.
You have to say, Ian, that ball was more in hope from Tokely.
McGeady's cross. Monro was on a mission to clear. Wallace. McGeady, who made his first start for Ireland in the week against Holland. The Irish were beaten in that game. And that's not going to present a problem for Mark Brown.
Yeah, at the moment there's far too many options for Celtic in midfield. Completely overrunning Cali Thistle in there. I think it's maybe a point for the two central defenders from Cali Thistle to step out a little bit and give them a hand in there, because at the moment it's a matter of time.
Craig Dargo, 20 goals last season, one already this season, and a free kick right now as he's taken out by Mark Wilson.
It's a break forward from Dargo. I think that they have to try and get the ball into Wyness and Dargo and get them turned, at least try and get some possession up the field, take the weight off the shoulders of the central two at the back for Cali Thistle.
Well, it's an opportunity. Rankin and Black stand over the free kick. It's Rankin who takes it, and it's Neil Lennon with a rather unplanned kind of back pass.
Oh, he'll be so disappointed with that ball in there. This could be the only kind of opportunity for Cali Thistle to score from. They do have a height advantage when they get the big men up, and I think when they do find themselves in those areas, the delivery has to be much better than that.
And it normally is from Rankin as well. He will I know he got that one horribly wrong. You do have to make the most of those kind of opportunities against the Old Firm. Cali Thistle certainly wasted their chance then, but Dargo trying to progress now. Yarosik. Bit of space. But unable to find McGeady. Lost totally challenged by McGeady. Neil Lennon can't get too near it. Here's Rankin. And they open up Celtic. McManus only holding it up. Dargo and Wyness around, but Boritz has it again.
Yeah, that little burst from Inverness Thistle. It all started with Jarosik picking the ball up in the area that he wants, in between the defence and the midfield. Again, his final pass is lacking.
Kenny Miller's onside, and Stephen Pearson's made a run in. Here he is, Pearson! And Celtic have the lead. And Stephen Pearson, who'd accepted to leave the club a while ago, makes his mark and scores against Thistle.
Yeah, I said it was a matter of time, and it was. A nice long ball into the space for Kenny Miller, uses the space well, and that is what Pearson does for you. He gets himself into the box. Vital that he does do that. Runs off Miller, runs off Jarosik. Good finish, lots of composure. Wee toe poke into the corner, no chance for Brown in goal. And that's what happens when you try too much to sit in and counter-attack. All it takes against a Celtic side like this is one good opportunity.
Stephen Pearson marks his 60th game for Celtic with his 6th goal for them. Making a rare start today and making quite an impression. And it wasn't so long ago that he looked set to join Billy Davies at Derby.
But how often does he do that given the chance? He's a fantastic player, he's got a great engine, good touch, and he knows how to sniff out a goal. You also have to credit Kenny Miller there. Again, no goal for him, but he's still playing well. He's getting into areas that he needs to get into.
McBain will get a corner out of that as Thistle seek an instant response. Naturally, Darren Dodds will come up to pose a formidable threat. Ian Black will take the corner. It's over the head of Dodds, and there was a foul anyway.
Yeah, but it was a better ball in. As I've said, dead ball situations will be important today for Thistle. It's going to be interesting to see how they react to going a goal down. Do they try and keep it tight now to half-time and re-evaluate? Do they try and push out a little bit more in support of Wyness and Dargo?
Pearson's goal provided by Kenny Miller, yet to score himself, but he always puts in a good shift and the goals will come, and when they do come you can see him getting quite a few, but he set that one up for Pearson.
Yeah, it's just that at times he does find himself too far outside the box to be the one who taps it in, and it's a bit of a risk to be out there too often.
Miller helping that on, but it's away by Keogh, only as far as Wallace. Miller. Jarosik hadn't moved forward at all then. Had it gone across that 6-yard line. It's belted out of the ground.
There's a perfect example of a nice ball played into Miller. I think Charlie Christie will be looking at this and trying to second guess Gordon Strachan and wonder what he can do about getting back into this game. But again, there with Miller out there on the wide right area. Fantastic little ball back into the box, and you're looking for the desire from Jarosik to try and get on the end of that.
Wallace, Jarosik, Nakamura, Wilson available. He always seems to be. Wilson's cross. Ross totally beats Miller to it.
They're queuing up out there, and it was not just Miller, but Lennon was out there as well. Absolutely no pressure on the ball coming in the box. I think there's a lot of food for thought for Charlie Christie.
With another double header from the French League coming up today on Setanta Sports 1, Toulouse against Nice. And later, the top two teams from last season, Bordeaux against Lyon. That's from 8 on Setanta Sports 1. Rankin, groomed by Manchester United.
I think maybe Inverness Thistle have given too much respect in some ways to Neil Lennon. They've sat tight, they've stopped him from playing, but they've also allowed far too much room in wide areas, especially on the right-hand side with Mark Wilson. And they have bodies in there in midfield, and they can play nice passes, which will give them the room to then feed it out wide. And then once the ball does get out wide, there's absolutely no pressure from Inverness Thistle. All they're doing is sitting in the box and hoping that the delivery is not great and that they can attack it and use their height in there.
McGeady, Yarosek. McGeady runs into bother. He wanted a free kick there, McGeady, and the referee, Craig Thompson, did put his whistle to his mouth for a moment.
From an Inverness Thistle point of view, that was more like it, because McGeady got on the ball and there was 3 men round him straight away.
Ross Wallace ready to take this. Totally easily in front of Yarosek. Showed little desire to get to it. Wilson, who has proved to be a real catcher for Celtic, looks a class act. They're going to need a few class acts when the Champions League comes around.
Yeah, he's one player that certainly has made the step up, and by all accounts pretty easily as well.
Yarosek tripped by Rankin. Nakamura will trot across to take this, and Gary Caldwell and Stephen McManus will trudge upfield. Nakamura drills it across, and Mark Brown comes to claim it off the top of Yarosek's head.
And again, it was a sweet ball in from Nakamura, deliberately heading for Yarosek. It was good goalkeeping.
Pearson.
I think at the moment, Ian, for me, Inverness Thistle are lacking that bit of grit and determination in the midfield area, that they can pick up the ball and allow runners to go forward, and I think maybe Russell Duncan is the ideal man for that, who's sitting on the bench at the moment.
Keogh. Dargo in there. It's spun off him. Caley Thistle struggled here last season. They only managed 5 home wins in the SPL, but they were fantastic on their travels, even though they have the longest journeys. 10 away wins, double the amount of home wins.
I think a lot of that counter-attack play and away from home, I think that comes down to Barry Wilson at times, because he's always an out and he has pace.
Barry Wilson, unfortunately for Caley Thistle, was sick a few times during the night, not too well, and could not figure today.
I think that's also lacking in this side for Inverness Thistle today, the pace up front, and I'm sure that Charlie Christie will be looking at that and deciding, how do I go about making it more difficult for Celtic, not just in midfield but also at the back.
Nakamura. Wallace. Yarosek. Wallace has Pearson out wide. McGeady's inside at the moment. Nakamura. This is probably going to go to Mark Wilson eventually. Didn't need to be a genius to work that one out.
Oh, he's standing out there with flags up.
Nakamura. Craig Dargo going past Wallace.
You've got Wallace, Nakamura, Lennon all round him in that area, and hardly a Cali Thistle player.
Dennis Wyness scored a Scottish Cup winner against Martin O'Neill's Celtic here. A match that was probably one of Martin's regrets from his time at Celtic. He put a reserve team out in 2003. And they lost, not for the first time in the Scottish Cup, to Inverness Cali Thistle. Although it wasn't quite as embarrassing as the first time around.
I think the problem for the home side here is that the expectations have grown so much in the last couple of seasons, and their fans, and not just their fans but the rest of the SPL, expect them to challenge even Celtic, the champions, at home.
Lennon. Wilson. Nakamura. Here's Miller. Pearson typically has got himself towards the edge of the box again. Hastings slammed up towards Wyness.
Well, Wyness getting a rare touch of the ball, but again surrounded by Celtic players.
McGeady seeking out Kenny Miller. Richard Hastings alert to the threat.
Yeah, it was again an intelligent run by Kenny Miller. He peeled out wide right, where he likes to go, so that he can drift in with a through ball. On that occasion, McGeady trying to pick him out with a little bit of vision, just not quite enough on the ball. It's amazing how tightly the wide players for Inverness Cali are tucking in at times. I think too much at times, and I think that it's allowing Mark Wilson and McGeady to get far too easy possession in those areas.
Jarosik made amends for a terrible touch that gave Cali Thistle a throw by earning one back for Celtic. Jarosik now for Nakamura. Wilson is the man to cross it. Jarosik helped it on, although it might have reached Pearson anyway. Caldwell's header will go straight through. Well, later you can vote for your man of the match by ringing the appropriate number in the UK or the Republic of Ireland, and if your choice matches Scott Booth's selection and you're picked out as the winner, you'll get a signed shirt from the man of the match. Jarosik fending off Black and finding Wilson. Kenny Miller's going to get a free kick. Miller has played in 11 games in all for Celtic before today, including all those friendlies, but yet to score a goal. Might just fancy breaking his duck today at some point. He did set up the goal for Stephen Pearson. Nakamura, keepers.
Well, it was a poor ball that time from Nakamura, far too easy for Mark Brown to come and get it, and of course no one challenging the goalkeeper as well, which doesn't make it difficult. But I think that the problem now for Inverness Cali Thistle is they have to try and get to half-time 1-0. Cannot afford to lose one more goal. I think Charlie Christie will know that. He'll be looking on there thinking, just keep it tight, get us in at half-time, 1-0 down, re-evaluate, and we'll look at how we can give Celtic problems.
Totally. For Ross Wallace gifted a throw. It's come off Jarosik.
You have to also see there's a lot of slack play from Celtic as well, and they look like they want to try and win this game at a canter.
Dargo and Rankin! Great effort and great save from Borat.
It's far more like it for Inverness Thistle. They get the ball eventually, first into the striker. Good third man running from Rankin. We've said already he has got a great left foot. Keeps it down well, comes across the ball. It's a good save.
That's better from Thistle. Borat certainly called into action there by Rankin. Ian Black's corner, and Borat has spilt it, but he's got away with it.
Yeah, but I think lucky to get away with it. That could have gone anywhere on that occasion.
Coming back towards him, but Gary Caldwell dealt with it first. Neil Lennon high into the sky.
I don't know why goalkeepers in that situation don't just punch the ball. They're leaning over 2 or 3 players. It's a difficult one. Don't know if he's trying to take it with both hands here, or if he is trying to punch it, but he has to get something on it. Certainly more than this. Now he's trying to catch it. I think at times, if it's not on, just get it out of there.
Kenny Miller grafting, but Ian Black proving a nuisance. Miller, though, won the duel and was then rather crudely taken out by Rankin. Gordon Strachan's Celtic in front. Not that they've been particularly inspiring.
Well, he'll be happy that they've been comfortable and they've dictated the game under very little pressure. But I think he will worry a little bit about the type of balls that have been put in when they do get in good areas. I think looking for a little bit more quality on them. But I think if they do get the second goal here, then it'll be all over.
It's Strachan's 49th match in charge of Celtic today. He's only lost 6. 6 too many, that, when you're in charge of an old firm club. There have been 1 or 2 low points, of course, Artmedia and Clyde, but he did win 2 of the 3 domestic trophies on offer in his first season in charge. Yuri Jarosik, always going wide from range.
I don't think that Jarosik will be too happy with his performance in the first half. He's been played in that off the front row to try and get on the ball. I think you could safely say that if Petrov had been playing, you would have seen more of Petrov in that area. But it's maybe a little bit unconventional for him to play in that area, but he has tried to get in the box.
Dargo! And McBain made the run through, but it just trickled away from him.
Again, it's a flick on into the striker, which has not been happening for Inverness Thistle. That's what they're all about. They have to try at least to get the ball into the furthest up striker and then support from there.
Jarosik flicking it on, Darren Dodds hoofing it away. Wallace helps it on, but here is Black. Dargo. Black for McBain. Hastings. Rankin. This could be promising for Thistle, except that Borat does hold on that time.
That was nice play between Hastings and Rankin, and a good ball in the end from Rankin from a tight area. Thistle now have to get back and get organised again.
Nakamura. Hastings caught out by Pearson, who's kept it in for Wilson. 45 minutes almost up. We don't think there's going to be an awful lot added on. Jarosik's mini burst is brought to an abrupt end. McBain now for Keogh, former Celtic youngster, making his 100th appearance for Inverness Thistle. McBain coming across to this side. Fending off McGeady for the time being. Here's Rankin, who could have another go! Just wide this time, 2 shots, not far away.
Well, that attack began in the right back area for Inverness Thistle, and throughout that attack, Rankin was completely unmarked in the middle of midfield.
Well, John Rankin coming close twice for Thistle, but the only goal of the game came from Stephen Pearson, set up for him by Kenny Miller, still searching for his first goal, but playing his part in Pearson's. And Celtic, a goal to the good. Miller sprung the offside trap, Pearson, typical run into the box to score. Pearson making a rare league start today. We'll hear what John Robertson and Craig Burley think of it next with Rob. Half-time, it's Inverness Thistle 0, Celtic 1.
Right at the start of the second half, plenty of activity in front of that Celtic goal right at the end of the first half. Apart from that, it's been plain sailing for Celtic, with Stephen Pearson having scored the only goal of the game so far, and every game in which Stephen Pearson has scored for Celtic, they've won. So that's a good sign for them as Celtic look to hit the top of the SPL. They will if they win, and they're 1-0 up at the interval and looking pretty comfortable, Craig.
No, they look very comfortable, and I think the only disappointment from Celtic is that they're not more goals up. From Callie's point of view, I think they're getting a bit of roasting in there from the manager. He'll be expecting more from them. They can't set off Celtic as they did in the first half, and if they do that in the second half, I think Charlie Christie will know that they're not going to get back in this game.
John, will we get a game?
Yes, I think we'll get a reaction. The fact that they're only 1 down, given the amount of possession Celtic's had, I expect Cal to come out all guns blazing.
Artur Boruc has a rib injury, that's why David Marshall's on. Here's the second half with Scott and Ian.
Thank you, Rob, and Celtic will start that second half. A goal to the good, might have been more. They've been fairly comfortable, although Inverness Thistle did show signs of rallying towards the end of the half, particularly with those 2 efforts from Rankin. I'm not sure they will be fired up after a few words in the dressing room.
Yeah, Charlie Christie and Donald Park can be quiet, but they can also be pretty animated, and I think that will have been the case at half-time. They really do have to come out here and attack more if they want anything from this game.
Monro, Gary Caldwell underneath that.
You have to go along with what Craig and John Robertson in the studio said as well. It will be complacency at this point in time anyway, with the way Celtic were playing in the first half, that could escape them some points today. But at the moment, in complete control. It'll be interesting to see what Charlie Christie has done tactically to change things.
Dennis Winus, who has been a thorn in Celtic's side in the past. Totali's cross, and David Marshall gets an early touch, having replaced the injured Artur Boruc, who has a rib problem.
Yeah, I think that came from a piece of action where he did come over the top of players and didn't quite catch it. Saw him bend down after that, looked a little bit sore. But I think straight away we see Inverness playing the ball over the top into the channel, and that's maybe one way of trying to get their team pushed up the park.
Pearson, Yarosik. Nakamura got a bit bogged down, but Lennon offering assistance, and Wilson will now find Nakamura, who quickly darted across, trying to wrong foot McBain. Wilson delivers, Pearson's in there again, doesn't get a second bite at it though. Wallace was caught late, advantage played though. Dennis Winus could earn a ticking off later. McGeady making the most of it. Brilliant from McGeady. Miller, Yarosik.
That was superb play from McGeady. So quick on the ball. There's 3 defenders there all round him, still manages to find a way out delivers a decent ball in the box. You see here 3 players around him. One thing in mind, get a good ball in. It's bobbling a little bit. Jarosik's in there. Can't quite get the flick on for Kenny Miller. I think already, as we said in the studio at half-time, it's just too easy for Celtic to come out of defence. There has to be more pressure from Inverness Thistle in wider areas.
Fleeting appearance for David Marshall, who started last season with those 2 games against Art Media and Motherwell, conceding 9 goals. Well, Brown's mistake could let Miller in. Jarosik. Nakamura's lost it to Monro. Wallace holding up Keogh temporarily, now Tokley. Here's Ian Black. Away by McManus. Black hit it straight at his own man Rankin.
Yeah, it has to be said, that was a good chance for a counter-attack. At one point there you had Pearson, Jarosik and the strikers up in the box.
Nakamura releasing Kenny Miller. Stephen Pearce has made another run in. There he is. No goal this time for Pearson.
How well does Kenny Miller work this channel? Again finding it over the top. Blistering pace, looks up. Nice ball in. And it's Pearson again making that late run.
Pearson doing his chances of becoming a regular starter. No harm at all so far today. Nakamura. Off key from the Japanese international.
Yeah, that's been a sign of things today from both teams. Just that little bit of composure, that little bit of time taken over the final pass, especially from Inverness Thistle.
Wilson down by Monro, but here's Jarosik, and McGeady is making a move. McGeady aiming to give Tokley a torrid time. Keogh comes across as well, but McGeady still delivers.
Again there Ian, Pearson made that run. It's only a couple of yards away from getting on the end of it.
Targo now for Keogh. Determined to get his shot away. Doesn't really test Marshall too much there.
Had the chance there to play the ball wide, but opted for the shot. If you do that, try and at least hit the target.
Dodds underneath that. No great surprise. Monro. Rankin leaves it for Black. Winus. Now Rankin. And here's Keogh, who started his career at Celtic. Keogh's cross. Caldwell beats Winus to it. Rankin wasn't giving it up though, and still isn't, forcing Wallace into a corner, but then fouling him, or is it? No, it's just going to be a throw.
It was good defending from Caldwell and better play from Inverness Thistle all round, managing to pin Celtic back for the first time in this match.
Celtic fancied the free kick, but it's a Caley Thistle throw. Tokley launching it. Jarosik back helping out his defence, keeping Darren Dodds in check. Miller up against Monro. Kenny Miller hurt by the forcefulness of the challenge. Forceful but fair. Tokley.
Kenny Miller was brave there with 2 or 3 Caley Thistle players around him. He knows that as the lone striker he has to hold the ball up. He's taking one in the back of his calf, which all good strikers will know you have to take. Just gets caught, I think, in there. And again there. But he's a willing runner for the team. He can play as a lone striker, he can also play in combination, as we've seen with Zorowski. And he gives a great option up there for Celtic.
Keogh sneaked it across to Winus. In the corner to Cally Thistle, who are giving it a go at the start of the second half.
Yeah, they're pushing out. It's obviously come from Charlie Christie at half-time that they have to push out, they have to try and play higher up the park, and I always think against Celtic it is difficult to do that, but at the moment they are managing it.
Rankin takes it, Jarosik meets it. McGeady now. McBain tracking him.
A little bit of afters, I think, from McBain. A little bit of afters here. Just kicks out slightly. Yep. And a little back heel from McGeady as well. It's not been a feature of the game.
Wilson. Nakamura. Wilson for McGeady. Tokley took him out, and that's going to be a yellow card for Ross Tokley.
Yeah, again, it's good play from McGeady. He knows it's coming. Tokley also knows if he allows McGeady to get on it and turn, it's going to create massive problems for his defence.
Caldwell and McManus will move forward to add to Celtic's presence from this free kick. It's the man from Japan, Shinsuke Nakamura, to whip it in. Tokley got to it ahead of Caldwell.
It's an area of the park that Inverness CT will always do well in. I'm sure that Gordon Strachan will be looking for a lift in tempo from his side. They have just looked like they are content to play away and hope that another chance comes along. I think it's also important that Jarosik does find himself more in this game. Very quiet so far. Plenty running from Kenny Miller, plenty of running from Aidan McGeady. Desire, Pearson getting forward, Wilson on the right hand side. But for me, Jarosik and also Nakamura to a certain extent have been too quiet.
McGeady. Pearson, the goal scorer. Miller, the goal provider. Would have been a free kick, but the advantage played. Not that there is any from Yuri Jarosik's pass. Miller frustrated.
Yeah, I think as the game goes on, Kenny Miller will get more and more frustrated. I think he saw an opportunity to be slipped in there. Didn't feel there was any advantage played.
Tokley, big, strong and powerful and taking on Celtic. Darren Dodds, whose future remains uncertain amid interest from Dundee United. Cally Thistle keen to point out that he will stay until the end of his contract. Celtic are going to bring on Maciej Zaraski soon.
I think that'll be for Jarosik. We'll go back to their two up front formation, which has worked so well.
Dargo in towards Winus, and McManus's clearance actually came off Winus.
I think Miller could do with that today, a little bit of support. I think it's looking like a 1-2 or something along that lines will break down this Inverness Cali defence, and if they play too high a line, it's a perfect opportunity for Kenny Miller to get in behind. Zaraski, of course, does have the vision to be able to deliver that type of ball in there for him. And of course himself scores one or two as well.
Yeah, Zarafsky's ratio, 22 goals in 33 games for Celtic. Can't argue with that. Kenny Miller, he's got himself in, but there's no end product still from Kenny Miller. You start to feel for him, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Sheer frustration for Kenny Miller. He does so well to get himself that opportunity. He's coming in from the right side for a right footer. You know what he's trying to do? He's trying to bend the ball round just inside the back post, doesn't catch it right, and I think that it'll be those types of chances that once he has scored one, you'll find him hitting the net with.
Zarafsky is about to come on for Jarosik, as we thought. The throw has gone Celtic's way. The Jarosik's game will soon be up.
It has to be said, it could have been a toss of the coin between Jarosik and Nakamura, who's been anonymous too.
Kenny Miller. Jarosik looked the part against Kilmarnock on the opening day, but hasn't looked the part too often in the games that have followed. I'm sure there is better to come. Winus! Straight into the midriff of David Marshall. Miller now releasing Nakamura. McGeady and Jarosik up there with him. It's McGeady, could put Jarosik in here. Maybe that sums it up really for Yuri Jarosik in the last couple of matches.
Yeah, I think you're bang on, Ian. It's good play initially. Nakamura this time does manage to get the ball into McGeady. Good vision shown. Again, he's trying to bend the ball into the other side. Top left-hand corner.
And that's going to be his last contribution. Yuri Jarosik goes off to be replaced by Maciej Zarafsky, who played for Poland in Denmark in midweek.
And I think this will give Cali Thistle a bigger problem. He's a clever player, Zarafsky. Can hold the ball up. Great timing of runs. Can link very well with Miller too and the midfield. And just generally the movement of the two is going to stretch the Cali Thistle defence.
Substitution made on the hour mark. Zarafsky did score twice on the opening day against Kilmarnock. Can he add to that here in the Highlands? Hastings. Good effort by Craig Duggar to get to that, and he got it rather gingerly after his fall. Nakamura. Wilson giving Kenny Miller something to chase. Pearson has got himself into the box. Said that a few times today. Wallace. McGeady. Threading it through. For Zarafsky. McGeady's lost out to Tokley, but he's determined to win it back. And a free kick goes Cali Thistle's way.
This time Tokley comes out on top. I think Zarafsky's come on, and I think he's just going to slot into the same position as Jarosik. He's not actually playing up front in a line with Kenny Miller. He's sitting back there off the front one, hoping that his movement will cause more problems for Cali Thistle than Jarosik's did.
McBain. Black.
It's going to be a matter of time, I think. Just 3 or 4 minutes. I would expect that Charlie Christie will freshen things up and change things a little bit, because his two strikers in particular have been doing a lot of running in a defensive way, and I think that does tire players out. The midfield has also been overrun, so I think it is time there's a change.
Wilson. Lennon. Pearson. McGeady. Zaraski's onside. Shoot angle for Zaraski. And all he hit was a big microphone behind the goal.
Again, it's been that right channel for Celtic that's caused the most problems. You do expect him to get across the goalkeeper there. He doesn't want to go into the front post. That's where Mark Brown is covering.
Thistle are about to make a change by bringing on Graham Bain. Big striker, but they might have a go here with Winus! Under the roof of the net, that flash from Dennis Winus.
That's the second little bite that Winus has had in the last 10 minutes. He had one shot not long ago. This time he comes closer. He has the ability to get himself into that area.
It's going to be his last contribution, Dennis Winus, coming close to an equaliser. He's going to be replaced by Graham Bain, who suffered from an ankle problem for a long time last season. Hasn't actually scored since November in a senior match. Did get a couple of goals midweek though in a North of Scotland Cup tie. So he'll be well up for making an impact here in the big league. Dargo has turned away from Caldwell. Rankin and Bain just on! But no goal. That would have been some introduction for Graham Bain.
It's the first time that Celtic have been cut open. Being given a chance, his first touch just takes him that little bit too far left of the goal. Narrows the angle down. He has to get a decent strike on to get across Marshall, but doesn't get enough on it. And in the end, a wasted chance.
Clash of heads between Rankin and Hastings, and both Cali Thistle men will be in need of treatment.
It's never nice to see two players clashing like that. I just hope that, I don't think it's too bad, but no real movement from either player.
Rankin has fared slightly better out of it than Hastings, who doesn't look too good. You can vote for your man of the match later by ringing one of those numbers, the appropriate number, for the UK or the Republic of Ireland. If your man of the match selection is the same as Scott Booth and you're picked out, you win a signed shirt. Stephen Pearson, a strong contender for Celtic today, the only goal of the game.
Yeah, this is what he does best. He gets on the end of things, and he's made 3, 4, 5 different types of runs, all in the same area, but he times it differently. He knows exactly when to pop up in the box. He's a definite contender, but Kenny Miller also has impressed me again today with his running power, unselfish running power, setting up the first goal. Both players with complete focus on the ball.
Well, they both took a battering, Hastings and Rankin, but both, thankfully, appear okay now. They do have to run across to come back on, having had a touch of treatment, so I think this will be keen to get them back immediately, and they are immediately allowed back on.
I think that chance did come too quickly for Bain, just on the park, not really up to the game tempo yet. I think that with Winus going off, Winus is a player that you need to have possession, he needs to be in possession, he needs ammunition to get into the game, and today just wasn't his sort of game.
Bain with a flick on. Dargo! Most of them were going in for him last season.
Yeah, it's fantastic joint striker play. The initial touch from Bain, good first touch from Dargo, and as you say, those were going in last season, but it's a more direct approach from Inverness Thistle, and maybe that will pay dividends over the next 20 minutes.
Well, Craig Dargo did score against Celtic here last season in the very first minute. Also had a penalty saved by Borrett, who had to go off injured this time around at the Caledonian Stadium, replaced at half-time with a rib injury. Dargo can't quite release Bain at that time. Cali Thistle still very much in with a shout as long as it stays at 1-0. Dargo. Zurawski inside his own half. Pearson. Neil Lennon for Nakamura. Here's Wilson.
Just watching Celtic today, you wonder if maybe Gordon Strachan is thinking about this type of formation come Champions League football, with the one striker off and a compact midfield and pace up front.
McGeady. Miller. Snuffed out by Darren Dodds, but a corner for Celtic.
Yeah, it's a nice touch from Zurawski. And Miller making the third man run, he does really, really well. He has the pace to do that. Trying to get the ball in again. I think he has crossed more balls for Celtic today than anyone else.
Nakamura's corner. It's going to come back to him. Try again. Totally. Gary Caldwell had a go at a volley. Zurawski, and ends up amongst the Celtic fans.
Yeah, it's the spin of this ball that causes problems. It comes off the back of one of the Inverness Thistle defenders. And Zurawski knows exactly where it's going, but he doesn't know exactly where the shot's going. Again, it should be across the goalkeeper, high and wide. And he's had a good 10-15 minutes to get in the tempo of this game, so you would expect a lot better from a man of his quality.
Celtic 20 minutes away from going top of the SPL. Stephen Pearson's goal still separates the sides.
And I just wondered if Charlie Christie will make another change soon, because it has given them a more direct approach now with Bain on, but they still need, I think, a change or two in midfield.
Wallace. Comfy for Mark Brown, who started his career with Celtic's old firm rivals, Rangers. Bain and McManus both went for that. Rankin. McManus there again. Pearson picking out Miller. Could be another cross coming from him. Intercepted by Dodds.
I think it was John Robertson that picked out the two central midfield players for Inverness Thistle.
Kenny Miller, a searching pass from Caldwell. Here is Nakamura. McGeady. Plenty of power from Aidan McGeady. And Rankin is left crumpled in a heap.
This comes again from possession from a wide area, played in. Nakamura looking for a 1-2. McGeady makes himself a little bit of space. Can't quite get the shot down. There's Charlie Christie looking on now, and as I was saying, John Robertson picked out with Rankin and also Black in midfield. There's a lack of dig in there for me, and I think although they are good players and they've played when they can today, I think that a player with a little bit of dig is, I think, has been a mainstay for Inverness Thistle and has worked for them in the past, especially at home against teams like Celtic.
Bain. Neil Lennon sorts him out. Nakamura. And a foul by Ian Black. It's a yellow card coming his way for that lunge on Nakamura.
Yeah, it's a... I don't know if you're allowed to say this anymore, a striker's challenge, forward-thinking players' challenge, and both Black and Rankin, they like the ball to their feet. They don't like to get involved quite as much with this sitting off and trying to time their tackles, and I think that's a job that Russell Duncan does particularly well. And he also sits in and protects the back four and allows the midfield players to take off from there.
Caldwell picked out Miller perfectly a moment ago, but not quite the same with McGeady there. Ross Wallace's throw. Neil Lennon recovering under pressure from Bain. Here's Wilson. Oops, David Marshall has sliced that one. Helped on by Caldwell. Caley Thistle are going to bring on Richie Hart shortly. He was a contender to replace the ill Barry Wilson today, but Liam Keogh beat him to it. He will be coming on for Keogh shortly, though.
And I was going to say, it is an important stage for Inverness Caley Thistle. Do they want to take something from this game? And Celtic know at 1-0, there's always a chance.
McBain. Steered away by McManus, but it's come to Keogh, who didn't really make the most of it. Going to be a corner, though, for Caley Thistle, as they raise the stakes with a quarter of an hour remaining.
Yeah, in the end, it wasn't a bad cross from Keogh. Tried the shot, didn't catch it.
Ian Black's corner. David Marshall, safe pair of hands. Kenny Miller. Zurawski. Mark Wilson nearby. Neil Lennon. Pearson. Wallace. Nakamura then ready to float this free kick in. Celtic really could do with that second goal to breathe a little easier and to secure top spot in the SPL, albeit in the early stages of the season. Nakamura takes, and McGeady stumbled then just as he was about to have a go, still got his shot away.
Yeah, McGeady for me has done well today. Nakamura playing a good ball in again. McGeady gets on the end of it, just can't quite get over it and get power on it too. In the end, it was easy for Mark Brown.
Hastings. Rankin. And again. Here's Keogh. Bain trying to get near it. Brave header away from Caldwell. McGeady's lost out. Here's Hastings. McBain. Rankin. Caldwell had to deal with it, it was never going to go behind. And that change is going to happen now. They had a bit of a rethink though, Caley Thistle. They were going to take off Liam Keogh, but it's going to be Roy McBain instead now. And coming on in his place is Richie Hart, who scored against Celtic at Celtic Park back in March, his last goal, in fact.
Richie Hart does give you real quality on the ball, great delivery. I think that makes two guys in there from Inverness Caley Thistle that towards the end of this game with delivery they can create something when you have Rankin there too.
Richie Hart scored a hat-trick midweek in the North of Scotland Cup, so he'll be buzzing, coming on for the closing stages. Grant Monro's long throw. McManus made sure he got to it, but at the expense of a corner. Richie Hart has just come on, will take the corner.
He'll get his first chance to show that he can deliver with quality.
Aaron Dodds an obvious target. Richie Hart goes longish. Kept in by Graham Bain. Totally. Keogh. And Monro! What a finish from Grant Monro! And Caley Thistle rise to the challenge of facing the champions. One goal was not enough for Celtic. It's all square.
Well, that's what happens when you don't have the desire to kill off games. Inverness Caley Thistle, they've never given up. It came from Richie Hart's initial corner, it was a good ball in. And this time, great shooting opportunity. Monro keeps the ball down, gets power on it, and leaves Marshall with absolutely no chance, completely unsighted. Gets there far too late. And that's the risk you take when you don't try and kill a game off.
Well, what happened to Rangers last week has happened to Celtic this week. Grant Monro doesn't score many, it's his first goal for a year, but what a fabulous finish. Monro now doing his normal defensive duty.
I have to say that Celtic haven't stopped trying to score, they just haven't done it with real desire, with real pace, which they have. And Inverness Caley Thistle have battled on and kept themselves in it, knowing through experience that at 1-0 down, the game's never finished.
Well, they never give Celtic an easy ride, whether it's in the league or the cup competitions. Here we are at 1-1. Zaraski turns low, but a comfy save for Brown.
Sure, now Gordon Strachan will be incredibly disappointed to let them back in the game, having controlled so much of the game.
Here's Tokley. Caley Thistle fancying a win over the mighty Celtic now. Tokley was maybe gambling on getting a corner out of that, but he didn't, and he's out of position now as McGeady brings it away. Neil Lennon. Zarafsky. Here's McGeady. Miller. McGeady. Lennon. Nakamura. Wilson is available. Caldwell. He finds Wilson. Wilson wasting no time. Zarafsky's flick. Just too much for Kenny Miller.
Suddenly, Ian, there's real urgency in the Celtic side. It's a great ball in and a fantastic flick from Zarafsky. And again, Kenny Miller, just that yard off it. He can't quite wrap his foot around it.
Well, Celtic might have quibbled as to whether this went out when Graham Bain went to retrieve it. Let's have a look. Decent view for the assistant referee.
No, I don't think that's out here. I think the assistant referee is right on the line. He sees right across. You'd expect him to make the right decision in that case. McBain doing very, very well to keep the ball in and then turn and feed in a great ball.
Nakamura now for Wilson. Nakamura, Wilson again. Celtic desperate for a winner to go top of the table. Nakamura's cross. Neil Lennon. Wilson. Celtic probing. Miller. Surafsky. And Ian Blackwood booted away. And Graham Bain closing down Stephen McManus. Craig Beattie about to play his part for Celtic in the closing stages as they look for a winner here. Just receiving his instructions from Gary Pedrick. Wilson bemused by the fact that he doesn't have much of a choice. McGeady. Beattie waiting in the wings. He'll get a chance to come on now because McGeady has been taken out by Hart. He gets a yellow card.
McGeady again running at the Inverness Thistle defence. He's done that all day. But you have to say, with having so much possession today, how many real chances have they created?
Yellow card for Richie Hart, and Kenny Miller being replaced. He still hasn't managed to open his Celtic account. On comes Craig Beattie, who had a good start to last season before injury struck. Can he have a say here for Celtic?
I think that's going to frustrate Gordon Strachan. How many times has Mark Brown been called upon today?
Gary Caldwell rising to meet that. Away by Monro. Hastings up towards Keogh, but away by McManus. Foul by Richie Hart, clambering on Caldwell.
Well, I think that was
French football coming your way next on Setanta Sports 1. It's Toulouse against Nice. And that's followed by the runners-up against the champions of last season, Bordeaux-Lyon. Should be some contest that, 8 o'clock, Setanta Sports 1. And your last chance now to vote for the man of the match. Ring the appropriate number, and if you choose the same as Scott Booth and your name is picked out, you'll get a signed shirt from the man of the match. Monro up and under. Gary Caldwell dealt with it. Graham Bain was coming back from an offside position then, and the flag was always likely to go up against him once he got involved, of course. Pearson. McGeady. And Craig Beattie trying to put himself about, but Mark Brown reigned supreme, and Cally Thistle are close to securing a point. It would be their third successive draw after losing to St Mirren here on the opening day. They've got a late equaliser against Aberdeen, they've got a late equaliser here against Celtic, and they also drew with Hibs in between.
Cally Thistle had a game plan today and they've stuck by it.
Graham Bain tugging a shirt and getting a yellow card. He's actually the fourth Cally Thistle player to be booked.
Yeah, again, McGeady getting away from a player. He's had a good game, McGeady.
Wallace launching it. Gary Caldwell challenges. Wouldn't drop kindly for Beattie. It's clever from Caldwell. McGeady. Corner, Celtic, as they look for a winner.
Can Cali Thistle hold out? As I say, they have had a game plan today. They stuck by it. From their point of view, can they stick by it for an extra 3 or 4 minutes?
Nakamura's corner. McManus. Zurawski. Blocked by Monro. Scored a Cali Thistle at one end and proving rather handy at the other two.
Yeah, he's had a good game. His third opportunity now for Zurawski in that same area. It's a high ball played in and finds its way to Zurawski at the back. And again, Monro getting himself in front, get his whole body there. Last thing he wants is a shot on goal at this stage.
That's Keogh, possibly, who's down. Oh no, it's Rankin. Nearly right.
You have to wonder, Ian, why have Celtic lift the pace so much since losing that goal?
Well, Rankin, who had those two digs from distance at the end of the first half, is going to be replaced by Russell Duncan, who started against St Mirren here on the opening day, but has been left on the bench since.
Well, Russell Duncan finally getting an opportunity today, but too late on to make any real difference.
Wilson's throw. It's come off Ian Black. It's going to be a corner in front of the Celtic fans at that end. They've turned up in their usual numbers despite the long journey north. Minutes of added on time. Nakamura. He was at the near post but couldn't get to it. McGeady. Nakamura. McGeady having to shake off the referee, and also Russell Duncan. The first of the added-on minutes almost up. McGeady's done so well to get that in there, but Darren Dodds typically meets it. McGeady tries again. Will it fall for Pearson? Just wide. It really went some that from Stephen Pearson, who almost won the game for Celtic.
Well, Pearson popped up near the start of this game, does it at the end. It's a great strike. He keeps it down so well. Gets over the top of it, comes across it. Mark Brown really struggling there to keep that one out if it's on target, but again it comes from McGeady. McGeady's created so much for Celtic today.
Gordon Strachan beginning his touchline man, having to watch him upstairs, and he would have expected more out of this game, you suspect, than a point, although having said that, Cali Thistle always do, as we said right from the off, give Celtic a game. Cali Thistle go to Hearts next weekend. Celtic home to Hibs. Dargo. It's Hart. Cali Thistle looking for a winner. Graham Bain. Marshall always had his near post guarded.
Well, it was Pearson at one end, and now it's Bain at the other. Hart waits and waits. Great little ball tucked back, and Bain has one thing on his mind: touch and hit it. Just inside the near post.
30 seconds remaining at the Caledonian Stadium. Celtic beaten in their first away match of the season at Hearts, and being held here. Oh, and a mistake could let Graham Bain in. Marshall has committed himself, but that's not going to have enough on it.
That's great defending from Marshall. He was so aware, acting as sweeper, just did enough to put Bain off.
Made the right decision ultimately, and had to. Beattie. Lennon. Last chance maybe for the champions to nick it. Mark Wilson. It's over. It's a draw for Charlie Christie's Cali Thistle. Grant Monro popping up with an excellent equaliser. A much better second half showing from the home side, who didn't really give it much of a go in the opening 45 minutes, but certainly did after that. Stephen Pearson had given Celtic the lead in a rare league start for him. But Monro had the last word and the last laugh, although there were further chances for Pearson and Bain in added on time. Still no goal for Kenny Miller, but he did provide that for Pearson, who made a typical run into the box. Celtic comfortable in the first half, but fairly uncomfortable in the second half as Cali Thistle plugged away, and Grant Monro had them off their seats with that one. So, Rangers held last week at Dunfermline, Celtic held this week at Cali Thistle. That's the way it's going in the SPL this season. It ends here. Inverness Cali Thistle 1, Celtic 1.
Celtic have missed their chance to go top of the SPL. Gordon Strachan watching from the stand during his touchline ban, and he must have thought that Celtic were cruising at this point, one up through Stephen Pearson on his first start of the season, and there was no great contest at that stage. Charlie Christie must have been concerned, but Graham Bain made a difference when he came on, kept that in and helped set up Grant Monro to fire in his fourth goal in 8 years with Inverness. 1-1. Terrific draw for the home team, their third point of the season, and a damaging draw as far as Celtic are concerned. And it means that Rangers stay top of the SPL. 8 points out of 12 is the best at the moment, and now teams on 7, Celtic, St Mirren, Falkirk, Hearts and Kilmarnock. Aberdeen on 6, Hibs on 5. Dundee United joined by Inverness now on 3, Dunfermline 2. Motherwell still pointless. Man of the match, Grant Monro with Stuart Lovell.
Grant, only your fourth goal for Inverness in 170 games, and it was a pretty crucial one, wasn't it?
It was. We got a bit of a rollicking half-time from the gaffer, so he wanted to squeeze higher and get in the face of Celtic a bit more. I think we did that second half.
Yeah, I mean, we were wondering what was spoken about at half-time, because he certainly seemed a different side in the second half, particularly pressing the game.
I think we showed a bit too much respect in the first half. They got time to get the ball passed about, but I think we squeezed up that 10 yards higher at the back and restricting the space in midfield, so we did a good job.
Of your team's performance today?
Oh, I think up to about 25 yards out we were very, very, very good. Get control of the ball, killed the game, killed any atmosphere that was on the ground. Made chances, didn't take them, punished, because a team's always going to get one chance, maybe two, and they took their chance that came along. But disappointed with the goal, and only disappointed with the as I say, 25 yards out. I thought midfield was excellent, dominated the whole game in the middle of the park, but just striker couldn't finish off the good moves.
As we saw with Rangers last week, a 1-0 lead isn't always enough, is it?
Oh no, it's never enough. But do you spook the people and talk about it so much at half time, or do you just kind of try and ignore it? You try and get a nice balance, and but I really couldn't see the goal coming, to be honest with you.
What did you think in terms of your view from sitting high up in the stand? Did that help at all? Did you see different things from there as opposed to sitting on the dugout?
It definitely helps in terms of the shape of the game, and as I sat up there I thought it's no problem at all. I can't remember having so much possession and being so comfortable in the game for a long time. But that's football for you. You know, if you don't kill the game off, then that's liable to happen.
You had some very good attacking performances today from McGeady in particular. I thought Kenny Miller played very well. Were you pleased with the way those two played?
I was pleased with certain aspects of their play, both play. Okay, did well for the goal. Aidan was just excellent throughout the match, and I thought he was excellent. I actually thought he was the man of the match. by a million miles, because if you're paying to say skill and all the rest of it when you got it there, and hard work, his hard work was fantastic. So add that together, and I don't think there was a I don't think there was a contender anywhere near him.
What was your view of the Inverness goal, because it looked to be very close to going out?
Oh, I think we've all sat here and we've all went out, but you'll never know. But that's it's not a problem. You have to play on, and we feel that after that there was opportunities to clear the ball, so we take full responsibility for the goal.
Gordon, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
That's an honest assessment from Gordon Strachan. Disappointed man, clearly, because he will look at the league table and see that Rangers are still top. Celtic had a terrific opportunity to overhaul them and to move on to 9 points, but they have to settle for 7 at the moment, 1 behind Rangers on 8. Also on 7, St Mirren, Falkirk, Hearts and Kilmarnock. Aberdeen on 6 after their draw in Paisley yesterday, live on Setanta Sports. Hibs on 5, Dundee United 3, and they're joined there by Inverness. 3 draws for Cally Thistle, but they'll take a lot from their second half showing here. They got better as the match wore on, they had to. Dunfermline 2 points so far, and Motherwell 4 defeats in 4 games. Next weekend in the SPL looks like this. At Pittodrie, Aberdeen against Dunfermline. Celtic are at home to Hibs. There's a cracker in Glasgow next weekend. Falkirk against Motherwell. Maurice Malpass desperately hoping his team can get off the mark. At Tynecastle, well, Inverness are there. Will they be a problem for Hearts as they were here for Celtic? And at Love Street, it's St Mirren against Dundee United. We're live at Rugby Park next weekend.